This will be the second episode of my podcast, Not So Malone. Today we talked about the new policy that Trump tweeted out about transgenders in the military. And we also just talked about how Trump got elected and a couple of ideas relating to Trump in general. I hope you enjoy.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. It's July 30th, 2017, Sunday.
Yeah.
6:02 p.m., 1800 military time. I'm trying to learn. Do you know military time?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's basically 0 to 12, and then it goes 13 to 24. Would be 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So there's no PMs. There's no AM PM.
Yeah, there's no AM PM. Cause my phones are there, but my phone, it's in military time. Could you
Do you
read it?
prefer it that way?
I changed it not that long ago. Because I know 6 p.m. I know that off the top of my head, but I feel like it might be good to know 24-hour time. Just as a random skill to have. You know what I mean? The military uses it. Well, they use it. They use it in the military. My buddy's a firefighter. They use it. I'm sure in hospitals they probably use it. I feel like it's just better than having AM, PM.
Yeah, it kind of gets away from the confusion of saying it's 6 o'clock.
AM or PM?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Because isn't that whenever your teacher's
1800.
whenever your teacher's we have a test at 9 or whatever, you know what I mean? It's always PM or AM.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
So,
I just would rather have it simple, I guess. Because you always convert it into regular time. You don't think
Yeah.
in military time. You're not it's 1600. You're it's 4 o'clock.
but
it
I
says 1600.
but I
Is that
would if everybody else knew if I knew that everybody else knew military time.
probably, but I think it's just the fact that people don't is the reason I wouldn't. I
Unless
wouldn't
they're
use
in the
it
military.
regularly.
I know some guys in the military. Just only talk to them with it like that. I don't know. But so the military for sure uses it. But you know what the military isn't using anymore? Transgender people, because what's up with I'm not knowledgeable about that really at all.
I don't even know if it's a real thing yet.
Is it legislation
So
or is
Trump
it just
tweeted it out as he does.
just yapping?
The 4 a.m. tweet storm, and
Just got that yap trap of his and just yapping. Was it at 4 a.m.?
I don't know. I mean, it's
Probably.
also Eastern time, so people always say 4 a.m., but it's
Oh.
really 7 a.m., which is not that weird to be awake at that time.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think most of the time it's 1 a.m. Eastern.
I don't
But
think
he
so.
does his
No,
tweeting.
it's always in the mornings, as far as I've seen.
I guess I get because that is how you always hear it. He tweeted at 2 a.m. What a lunatic. But
Yeah.
that's 5 a.m. I mean, it's probably not. When you get that old people. He's what 76?
No, he's 71.
Is he? But that's old. That's not weird
Oh, no,
for
yeah,
your
that's
grandma to wake up at 5 a.m. That's totally not weird.
Yeah, but
Especially he's got a lot of work he should be doing and he's not really doing. So.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. He did brag about only getting 4 hours of sleep, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
To brag about only
Getting 4 hours of sleep. I mean, let alone bragging about it.
No, I know.
That's not good.
The mental toll that sleep deprivation takes on you, dude, is insane. Have you ever gone? What's the longest you've ever stayed up?
I've stayed up all night before.
No, but how many hours?
Yeah.
24 hours and then you went to bed?
Probably 24, maybe a little more than that.
I did 38 one time, and I tried to go to the gym at about 34 hours. I remember I got in there and I was trying to do dumbbell bench press and I did 2 reps and I just fucking walked. I felt like I was gonna throw up. So that not sleeping, it's one thing if one night you don't get a lot of sleep, but if you're repeatedly not getting enough sleep, I feel like that's an issue.
Yeah.
Well, you want to check what the time of the tweet was.
have to pull it up. Might take a minute. "5:55 a.m." And I'm thinking that's Pacific time.
That's Pacific time, so
So
it'd be
almost 9
8:55.
o'clock.
Yeah, that's not weird. It's
Not
certainly not weird.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, I'm sure there's other tweets where you.
But you want to read the tweets that the trans military ban?
Yeah, I mean, I can read
So,
that.
I mean, just to preface what we.
Let's see. So, 4 days ago, after consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you.
My first thought is, what the fuck? Decisive victory? We've been in fucking Iraq and Afghanistan for how long?
It's just.
It's not a decisive victory. Well, I'm not even. I don't even want to touch the transgender part
Alright,
further.
alright.
I'm touching, like, just the way that tweet was worded. We have to focus on, like, as if transgender people are the reason we're still in Iraq.
I don't know if that's what he means. I just
No, but
think,
that's how it sounds.
like they're holding us back from our tremendous
Yeah,
victory.
our Swift victory.
Yeah, I don't know.
We would have beat the Japs like fucking in 1944 if just the transgender
Yeah.
weren't holding. We wouldn't have had to do them, dude. They were holding
That's
us back.
the problem, you know.
Transgender.
All these medical costs and disruptions.
Well,
Slow
okay.
us
Well,
down.
so what's your opinion on the transgender issue of that?
Being in the military,
Of him saying that can't serve in any capacity. That transgender people can't serve in any
it's
capacity.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like how it's just like, okay, so there is an argument to be made about transgenders having mental issues because, I mean, statistically, a lot of them are depressed because of society not accepting them, and that causes a lot of problems mentally. But not all of them are. And to just say, oh yeah, some of them have problems, so none of them can join. It's just ridiculous. You can't just like group everyone into this group. I mean, even if it is like a large proportion of them do have mental problems, you can't just say none of them. You have to look at it on a case-by-case basis.
You mean mental problems
Like making them unfit to serve. Like, you know,
like depression,
you can't-
suicidal?
no, you can't join the military if you have suicidal thoughts. They
Yeah.
won't put a gun in your hand if you have suicidal
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah.
They just won't.
Yeah. Same with probably like police. I imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
But-
So, I mean, you can make that argument, but you can't just say all transgenders are not allowed simply because they're transgender. It's the same thing with gays. It's the same thing with the gays in the military.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit different, and here's why I think that it's different. And honestly, I don't feel strongly one way or the other, to tell you the truth. But I definitely think it's ridiculous to say that they can't serve in any capacity. Like they can't even be like treating the wounded, or you know what I mean, anything.
Yeah.
They can't work in the fucking cafeteria. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's all. I believe that's all military.
I'm pretty sure.
So
It
they
all
can't.
falls under the military budget.
Yeah, so that they can't do any. I think that's totally ridiculous. I think that trans people should definitely. I could understand combat. I can
To a
understand
degree,
combat.
like I said, you
I
know,
understand
there
combat.
is a statistical reason or, you know, trend where a lot of transgender people suffer from these problems. But to just say all of them do is just cutting out the whole pie.
Absolutely.
When it's even if it's a big piece of the pie wouldn't be fit to serve. But you're cutting out that extra piece for no reason.
Absolutely. However, here's something that I think you're not even thinking about that I don't know if I haven't heard. I haven't looked super into this. I don't really pay much attention to Donald Trump's tweets.
Well, it's one of those tweets
I
where
know.
it becomes real because he says, you know, he's trying to tweet policy
Well,
basically.
did you guys notice how this happened? I want to say the same day that North Korea launched the missile at Japan.
It was a few days before.
Was it a few days
Yeah,
before?
it was a couple days at least.
But and nobody's fucking talking about the fact that we're gonna have to go to war with Korea.
Yeah, I I don't know too much about that because no one's really talking about
That's what I'm concerned
But-
about.
it. North Korea launched a missile and it landed close to
This is
Japan.
like their third.
Whether they were aiming for Japan or not,
Their third.
yeah,
They're
they're
probably aiming for
they're
Japan.
testing missiles
Yeah.
and they got close to Japan.
ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are long range to deliver. They were developed to deliver nukes, nuclear warheads.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know too much about that, but I heard
I
about
know
it.
a little bit about it. But I just think it's interesting how no one's freaking out about that, and that's what worries me more than I'm sorry. That's what worries me more than like the transgender issue. I'm more worried about us getting nuked, because then just everybody's gonna be dead, and we won't have any fucking transgender rights to argue over. You know what I mean? So,
Well, we wouldn't all be dead. There's no way North Korea could.
yeah,
do
the
this.
rest of us would be living like roaches.
No, North Korea wouldn't do great. They would like glass, maybe like
They have the capacity to hit
Like-
Los Angeles, San Diego, San
Yeah,
Francisco,
so, like,
Seattle.
the West Coast might get fucked.
Yeah.
But the rest of the country would be fine. It wouldn't be as bad as if it was like Russia, Cold War.
You know what's funny
Nuclear
about that is we live on the West Coast,
So we would die.
so we would die
Most
assuredly.
Yeah, unless we got out somehow.
If a nuke were to go off in Los Angeles, yeah, we'd be fucked. We'd definitely be fucked.
Probably.
We would definitely be fucked.
How many miles away are we from Los Angeles? We're not far, less than 100.
Yeah, I want to say 80 probably.
80, yeah, that sounds right.
80.
So,
The blast radius alone is a mile, right? I feel like with a nuclear
Probably.
warhead, probably.
and then there's
There's fallout for. So we'd be fucked. Like we would definitely be fucked. And also just the fact that a major U.S. city got wiped off the map would just throw the economy. You know what I mean?
we'd probably go to like martial law or something.
Yeah, definitely. Trump would declare a state of emergency, and yeah,
We'd get drafted if we survived.
definitely drafted.
Die with a gun in our hands.
Definitely be drafted.
Unless we claimed we were transgender.
That's offensive.
Hey, I'll just shave,
That's
put on some lipstick.
no, you don't even have to shave. That's one of the fucking problems now. Is like you
I
can
might
just
have to
be-
cut my dick off.
No, you don't have to do anything. You can just say I'm transgender. Like it's not even. You don't even have to put effort into it anymore. It used to be, if you were like, hey, I'm a transgender woman, you had to get a wig, you had to wear a dress, you had to get some heels, shave your legs. Now, man, they just let anybody be transgender, man. They're like 400
Self-identity.
pounds, dude.
You gotta
400
decide what you
dudes.
are.
Yeah, oh, exactly. And that's the problem. You just get to decide. We tell them we're, what's the other one? Furrykins?
The
Furrykins. So we could definitely do that. Wait, so are furrykins allowed in the military still?
Oh God, I hope so.
Are bronies?
They will defend us with their
Brownies.
fedora power, and there's no way they would slow down our military process. Not like those transgenders.
The bronies. Bronies are cool. Trannies, no.
Yeah,
Bronies, cool.
yeah. You can take your My Little Pony merchandise with you on the boat.
Those people are fucking mentally
Korea.
ill, dude. Those
The
people are
bronies?
yeah, no, the bronies. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Almost was just way more offensive than I intended to be. No, the bronies.
It's still pretty offensive.
We're not talking about transgenders.
It's
We're talking
offensive
about
to people with actual mental illnesses. That's what's
calling
offensive to.
bronies mentally ill. Then what are they?
I don't know.
We
got
get so
something
much
on them.
hate from the brony community.
They got something wrong with them. I'm just kidding.
Did you ever try?
What? The
to-
show?
Yeah, to watch.
Oh,
the
I've
show.
seen it before.
I bet you did. Because I can't even remember who it was. It was somebody we used to game with. And they were like, dude, because I was like, I don't get it, and I am trying to understand, but I don't get it. And he's like, oh, dude, there's so much like subtext. There's so much. I watched like 4 episodes, and I was like, no, there is no sub. It's a show for little fucking girls,
It's kind of like SpongeBob,
but not
where
funny.
No, where it has those jokes where you're like, it kind of catches you off guard. You're like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny.
How
I mean,
much
it's
is-
not
how
like
much of this have you
really
watched?
not much. A few episodes probably, like years ago. So I don't remember much of it, but I do remember there were some points where I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. And I got a light on my face. It looks weird. Hold on.
Cut. It's not that direction, is it? It's coming from
No, it was coming from there.
That was it.
Better. But so what I understand is it's a very positive show and it has a lot of good vibes. So people who have terrible lives, who have no
these people's lives
happiness.
are terrible because they make them terrible because they're fucking 43-year-old men who don't shave, who don't shower, who don't talk to women, and watch this little girl's show that my niece, who's like 3, would watch.
And it makes them happy because there's a lot of happiness in it.
No, they get off on it. They get off
Okay,
on
there's
it.
certainly some people.
They
There's
get
certainly
off. I
There's
don't
always
wanna,
some people.
I don't want to say that it's all of them, which, by the way, I do want to add an addendum to our, that's what it is, right? Like a referendum? Just a disclaimer about our episode last week. I just want to say, because we talked about the transgender community and like some of the issues with that and some of the issues that the left, I feel like, has created. And I just want to say that, yes, these people who I think that have hijacked the transgender movement are not all LGBTQ people. I get that, you know, in reference to what our friend said earlier, he's a member of the LGBTQ community. So I just want to say, okay, it's not all of them, sure. It is a vocal minority.
It's the minority of the group.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, I don't have anything to say by and large about the vast majority of the LGBT. Like, I mean, I support the LGBT community, the LGBTQ community.
right.
I have no problem with that. I have a problem with and that's why I didn't talk about it, because you don't talk about the people who go and you're fine with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though it's a minority, it's still. So I mean, that's just in the interest of fairness, the whole LGBT community are not monsters who turn this into a racial, weird, hierarchical thing.
Yeah.
But that minority, you know what they say about one bad apple ruins the bunch, though. That's insane, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know the same, but I mean, I'm sure it's different from place to place. But yeah, they are kind of giving the movement a bad name, and that's kind of what we were talking about last week. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyways, away from brownies. So the transgender, you read the tweets. So, here was the argument that I heard earlier that I said I was interested in engaging was, so we have the fact that a lot of them struggle with mental health issues, which, to be completely honest, a lot of just everybody struggles with mental health issues, and I think
but I mean, percentages wise,
you think a higher percentage?
Of the
Like, probably
transgender community. Just because, I mean, if you just think about it, like, they're basically shunned for the way they want to live, and they're told that that's not right their whole life. It's similar to the gay community, which makes sense.
similar to the brony community.
I'm sure, yeah, everyone has their problems, but it's just like they've been born into the wrong body. They feel like they're trapped, and everyone else wants to keep them trapped, and that just, that causes a lot of problems in your head. And we need to help these people and make them comfortable.
But are there? I like, you hear that, and it's like, how many people are active? I get it. I guess we live in a pretty liberal state, so I guess we probably don't see it. But I'm sure, like, in the South,
Right, and then in this whole middle section of the country, there's very little room.
Because I was gonna say, is there really this much repression on transgender people? Because all the transgender people that I've ever seen are like totally, like, no one gives a shit.
Right, a lot of them you can't
I
tell.
don't give a shit.
And when you can't tell, there's really no problem. But there's some people, not immediately.
You can always tell.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me because I'm a professional in that regard.
Yeah.
You know,
Done a lot of research, huh?
done a lot of research.
Yeah. Okay.
Done a lot of research.
You don't fall for any traps, huh?
But anyways, the dynamic that I was trying to get into was just the fact that these are people who are taking, if they're going through the transition, correct? They're taking hormones every day. They have to have hormones every day, or like to my knowledge, it's like, you know what I mean? I feel you're taking this
Right.
medicine.
If you want to go through the transition, that's
If you
what
want to
have
go through
do.
the transition,
That's what you have to do.
you have to take if you were born a man and you're trying to become a woman, you have to take estrogen and vice versa, testosterone, correct? But so I mean, I don't know about the science behind it, but isn't like a woman taking testosterone the same as doing steroids?
Right. Men will take testosterone when they're working out to get, better gains.
Yeah, it's called steroid. What the fuck?
No.
Why did you have to?
No, it's different.
No, that's what steroids
No, steroids
are.
is like human growth hormone.
Steroids are what the first steroids started off as, was they were derivatives of testosterone. They basically like spliced around with testosterone, and they took like the negative side effects away as much as they could and emphasized.
But you can still take testosterone and compete.
Testosterone,
in professional
testosterone
sports.
is a steroid.
No, but you can still compete in professional sports.
It depends on what sport, and in a lot of them, no. You can do testosterone replacement therapy, which is if your testosterone appears to be like way below what is acceptable. I don't know what like the numbers are, but let's just say like 1 to 100. Let's say the average man is supposed to be at 60, or let's just say 50. And if you go in and your testosterone's at 25, they're going to give you enough to get you to 50, or as close to 50 as they can get you. You can't just take as much as you fucking want and go to 100.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know a lot about
So
it.
no, you can't in the UFC. No, you can't do that. So like I think that it slips through the nets, but it's steroids that they can test for it. It's not just testosterone.
Well, I mean, it definitely has similar effects to steroids, especially if taking it as a woman who doesn't have the high levels of testosterone.
Well, but what is the meme about taking steroids? That it makes you erratic, it makes you violent, it makes you dangerous, it makes you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That it jumbles this up around you. So if you're a person and you're taking those, I don't know if it's exactly the same, like what they take to transition. If it's exactly the same as like just regular steroid, I have no clue. But I'm saying that it's something that should be considered. And if I'm totally like wrong, and people are like, oh no, testosterone that they take doesn't have any of the side effects, then I'll rescind my argument. However, it seems to me like we have a bunch of people who are every day injecting steroids, and these people are probably a liability in the same way that if a man who wasn't transgender was shooting up steroids in the military, they'd cut that. I mean, you can't dope in the military.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I just think that that's something to consider, and the reason that you can't do that is because it makes you erratic. It makes you illogical. All of these negative side effects. So
I would just say, as far as the military argument, even though there's like that argument is a good argument, but at the same time, you need to look at it at a case-by-case basis. You can't just say all transgenders probably have these problems, so we're just not even going to deal with it.
But you legislate. But you legislate on the rule, not the exception. Which means you legislate. You don't say it's illegal to speed except for if your wife is pregnant and the car and you're low on gas and it's an emergency. You know what I mean? You say it is illegal to speed. Now a cop.
I don't know. I think
a cop might cut you a break. A cop might cut you. No, I'm just saying in general. You legislate based on
in
the
general,
rule,
but I think
not
this
the
is
exception.
This is more like saying
It's why
you can't join the military because you're Christian, which I mean that's ridiculous. But like because Christians have these trademark traits or whatever.
Well, here's a better one.
That makes them unfit to serve, so no Christians can join.
Here's a better one. A lot of Sikhs can't serve in militaries across the, like Sikhs or Sikhs.
Well, they can't.
They have turbans and beards.
No,
because
yeah, they can't
that's
have
part
their
of their
beards.
exact, and the turban too, and that's part
Probably.
of their
Yeah, they can't.
religious
They have
regalia.
they have to be in uniform.
That's where the turban comes from. When people see like people with
No,
turbans,
it's Sikhs. It's
and
not
they-
Muslims.
Yeah, it's not Muslims. Exactly.
So people attack people
Exactly.
wearing
And I always
turbans.
see people like get shady around like people with, people who are Sikhs. Like they don't even look. They clearly look fucking Indian. They don't look Middle Eastern.
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But they see brown people with, and I'm always like, no, Sikhs are fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, Sikhs are very chill.
Yeah. So like, I don't understand why, but they can't serve in the armed forces because it's again. I believe that I watched like a short documentary about it. In one country, they did make it so that they could serve, and they have like their own battalion or whatever you call it. I forget the military terminology.
I don't know. I saw some pictures
But-
on the internet of a guy with a beard and a turban, and it was like a camo turban or some shit in the
I feel like
military.
that's
I don't know if that was
I
America
might
or
not
not.
be. So I think they're typically blue.
The turbans they wear?
I feel like they're almost always blue.
I don't think there's a color code.
I feel like they're always blue. I feel like every Sikh I've seen, they're blue.
I don't think there's a color code. I think it's just the turban.
But it's like a power level in the, like in Lord
Like
of
a
the Rings.
ranking?
Yeah, no, like in Lord of the Rings, how you have like Gandalf the Grey is
Oh.
weaker than Saruman the White,
Right.
but Gandalf is stronger than the two blue wizards. But
And then the brown.
the brown Radagast is
Yeah.
stronger than the two blue wizards. I believe is how the ranking works. Anyway, Saruman's the top because he's the white. They're color coded. What if like that's how that'd be badass as fuck.
Just like the amount of training they've gone through.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sweet. No, that actually that kind of would just so you can like like a karate belt. You like you go from like a white belt to a black belt. I'm totally not trying to be insensitive
No,
to
I'm
Sikh
just thinking-
culture.
I see what you're saying. It is funny though.
I'm not laughing about it. I just that's an interesting.
I'm 100% sure that's not the
Is
case.
that not the case? You're 100% sure?
There's no way that's the case. That's ridiculous.
That's,
It'd be cool.
if I made a religion, that's what we would do.
Cool, dude.
Like
Start it.
everyone, like I'd be the only one that could wear a red shirt.
Hey, let's
I'd
start
be
a
the most
religion.
powerful.
The
That
red
actually-
shirt is red shirtism.
I've actually thought about that. No, you do not want to be red shirtism.
Is that bad color?
You know about the brown shirts and the black shirts, right?
What?
You never heard about the black shirts or the brown shirts?
No.
Mussolini, his followers were called the black shirts. They were the ones who marched on Rome and held the
Oh.
Italian king hostage. And the brown shirts were Hitler's little gang of cronies, and they're the ones that at the beer hall pushed when Hitler basically seized power.
You know what's crazy is how little we know. I mean, as far as from my experience, Mussolini in Italy during that time. Like everyone wants to talk about Hitler and so
Oh,
on.
Mussolini was just
Mussolini was
the
just as bad,
shit.
wasn't he?
the
I don't know
shit.
shit about Mussolini.
Well, he wasn't as bad in the sense that he wasn't, to my knowledge, like he didn't have death camps for his own people. However, there was like definitely like a secret police. It was called the there was a name for it. I can't think of it. If you've ever seen, there's a picture of his headquarters. Over his headquarters, there was a giant like paper mache thing of his face to say that he's always watching. It was really
I think
fucking-
I've seen that picture.
really creepy.
Yeah.
Very, very creepy. But he wasn't as bad in the sense that yes, he wasn't like
And
gassing.
he was a smaller
ethnic
scale
minorities.
for sure. He never.
Well, but,
He was
but
allied
what
with
the
Hitler,
Italians
but-
did in Ethiopia is absolutely fucking horrible. They
Mm-hmm.
went in, they massacred towns. They were just Ethiopia was like wildly underprepared for the war, and they just went in there with fucking tanks and just rolled over fucking cities in just no time flat and just terrible, terrible, brutal. I mean, Mussolini was no fucking walk in the park either. I mean, it's the same with Stalin. Excuse me. It's the same with Stalin. Stalin killed arguably more people than Hitler.
Yeah. Not even arguably. He definitely killed more people. I guess I don't know if you can say definitely because we don't always have proof, but
I feel
it's
like
been estimated he's killed.
I
way
feel like
more.
our estimates are like still way more than Hitler because Hitler was 11 million, right? 6 million Jews and 5 million others,
Probably.
like homosexuals, gypsies,
Yeah.
the mentally.
No one cares about that. It's only the Jews that matter.
Okay, anyways,
When am I getting my check? Sorry.
Oh, because we're Zionist chills.
Yeah, we're Zionist chills on the
okay.
show.
Yeah, definitely.
Praise.
You don't know shit about
Jewish God.
Judaism.
No, I really don't.
You don't know
I don't know
anything.
shit about Judaism.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Mussolini was definitely no walking the park.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know anything about him. I feel
Yeah,
like
we
we kind of
definitely do
skipped over
emphasize-
that
we definitely
in
do
high school
emphasize-
history class.
Well, the Japanese were also terrible to the Chinese when they invaded Manchuria.
Right.
You ever heard of the rape of Nanjing?
Yeah. The greatest. It was like the greatest massacre in
I don't know
recorded
about
history. I think.
that. I don't know about that.
I think it was. It was definitely Japan against China. I don't know if it was that specific assault, but Japan against China was like definitely the largest massacre. I don't remember which fight it was.
Well, China and Japan didn't really go into open warfare with each other, so I think you might be mistaken.
Japan invaded China. though.
Japan invaded China, but China largely didn't have a military.
Yeah, so that's why they got destroyed.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a massacre.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't even really a fight. They just wanted to start killing
China was
people.
going through a civil war.
I don't know about that, but
Giggling about.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that for the transgenders, it's sorry, not for the transgenders, for the individuals who identify as transgender. I just think it's a little bit more complicated, and I definitely don't think that you should be calling them a burden to the military. I think that that's heavy-handed. I think
Yeah,
that's
so what's up with Trump tweeting out these major policies?
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, I don't even, but they're not even policies. It's just him.
It's a plan. Like the Pentagon has said they were confused by his tweets, but yeah, I mean everyone's basically no one's really disagreed with him. Like this is the plan. They just didn't want him to, throw it out there on Twitter. I'm sure it was planned to be announced through other means.
Huh. And he just kind of.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Like
he's like.
he woke up one morning and he was like, "Last night me and my friends were talking and we decided that bam, this is what's going on."
That's one of the problems with him is he doesn't have self-control. He's so volatile that 1 minute everything's cool and the next minute we could be engaged in nuclear war with China, and that's what's so worrisome about him.
Yeah, he just doesn't really have a set of like ideals. He just kind of does whatever he feels like. Like he doesn't have any ground to stand on. He just kind of moves wherever he feels like it at the time. So it's kind of just like
he's a flip-flopper.
He'll say one thing, but if he decides differently, he won't be like, "Well, I know that I feel differently right now, but this is what I believe."
That other thing, and then
it's like he'll just be like. He doesn't have anything that he really believes in, so if something comes along that kind of shifts everything around, he can't be like, "Oh, but this is what I believe, and I have a really good reason to believe this." He'll just be like, "Oh, well, whatever. I'll just do this instead."
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Yeah, he just does whatever he wants at the time, whatever he thinks is best for him at the time. It almost never is. It almost always ends up backfiring on him.
And it worked really well for him in the election, because he was able to roll with the punches, and...
That is...
It really did. I mean, say what you will about the guy, but he played it right.
Yeah, he's a con man, and he was able to con the American people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Worked out.
Definitely.
I mean, it kind of was Hillary's fault that he won, to be honest.
I don't know about that. I think it was a culmination of multiple factors is why Donald Trump was able to win the presidency. I think that he's a good con man.
I don't think anyone would disagree that if Bernie had won the primaries, he would be president.
There's a lot of people who disagree with that.
True, I guess. I
I guess,
but there was a lot of people who only voted for Trump because they didn't like Hillary. And maybe they would feel the same way about Bernie, but
Bernie's
doesn't have the same background is Hillary with all the shady stuff in the past, all the
Well, now he's going through his own scandal. Apparently.
scandal.
His
Yeah.
wife Jane, I think that's her name, Jane Sanders, I believe.
Oh, Bernie's wife.
Yeah,
she
Bernie's
was
wife. She was.
embezzling.
Is that what it was? It was something to do with houses or something.
Fraud, I think. I think it was
fraud.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know that he's now going through that.
Yeah, it was
Everyone's
like
saying
an FBI investigation.
that that's going to ruin his, which I don't know.
I don't think people care.
But I feel like you can't be tried for your wife's crimes, and you can't be forced to testify against your wife, your spouse,
No, you
whatever
can't.
gender that
You,
spouse may be.
by law, you don't have
Yeah.
to testify against your spouse.
Yeah.
I just don't think it'll be a big deal for him. Like I'm pretty sure he already announced he wants to run again in 2020, but I don't think this thing that's going on right now with his wife will be.
Is he older than Trump?
That's what I think the real problem will be for him is
How old is he?
he's old. He's I think 4 or 5 years older than Trump now,
Is he?
and 4 years from
What the
now,
fuck's with all these old people running? Like, why? You only have to be 45.
well, Marco Rubio tried to run.
Why the fuck?
He was pretty young.
How
He
old
got
was
called Little Marco, and that was the end of that. So that's maybe why.
We got called Little Marco by who? By
Detroit.
who? Yeah. Yeah. And she got called Crooked.
Like I said, I say what you will about the man.
Jeb got
he
called a
played it right.
disgrace.
He is a waste.
He's a waste.
Jeb.
Low energy Jeb.
Low
Bush.
energy Jeb.
Low energy. Sad.
No, but that's what he did, and that worked for him in the campaign.
It's so
You don't need policy to run a campaign, and it works great.
But isn't
for
there
him.
something wrong with that? That we're more concerned about our
The real
president
problem
than his
is the
policy?
fact that he got there, he got through the primaries, and he got nominated. It should have stopped at the primaries, but people were just. I mean, it's a reality TV show, and what was it? It was like 11% of the population voted in the primaries.
I did. I don't know how much of the I don't know.
I saw something. It was like 11% voted in the primaries, and out of those 11%, it was like less than half even voted for Donald and Hillary. Like way less than that. Probably like 3%, I think, voted for those two.
And
I guess
the
maybe
rest
it
was
was
all the other candidates because
Yeah.
there were so many more candidates. before
Maybe
the
it was more like
primaries.
6% out of the
Yeah.
11%. But so it was like 6% of the population even wanted them to run, and then they won it, and here we are. So I think that's one of the bigger problems is the fact
The
that
worst possible outcome.
we end up with these awful candidates.
Well, there's actually I learned about this a couple weeks ago. There's actually I forget the name of the mathematical proof, but so we have in the United States it's called the first past the post system, right? It's winner take all. Whoever gets the most votes wins. The other person just loses. You know how it used to be was whoever got the most votes wins, and whoever got the second most votes was vice president.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that I feel like that fosters a system where you want to not call your opponents low energy because one day you're gonna have to work with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was something that I actually respected and admired about McCain's campaign in 2008 was that he was very respectful to President Barack Obama. He, I don't know if you've seen the video. There's a video of a woman saying that she's afraid to live in a country where an Arab is president.
Oh, I think I might have seen this a
Seen
while. I don't remember it very
A couple
well.
weeks
It sounds
ago,
familiar,
it was
though.
making the rounds, but and he goes, "No, ma'am, he's not an A." He's like, "No, ma'am, he's not an Arab. We disagree. I think I'd be a better president than him. He's just as American as me. That's as far as I get.
Right.
Like that's how you treat your opponent with respect and dignity. You know what I mean?" And Donald Trump is like, "Absolutely none of that."
Yeah.
But it's a like a mathematical proof for how many, I can't remember the name, it's somebody's like number or somebody's theory, whatever guy's last name, and it's basically that in a first past the post system where it's winner take all, one, the number of parties that will exist, and let's be honest, we have a two-party system in the United States, the fucking Libertarian, the fucking Green Party, pull like what 2% of the fucking population combined. It's
In the primaries, Gary was up to 10, I think.
really, but
Which
that's
was like
the
highest,
most that
it was
it's
the
ever
highest
ever.
probably since like 2000.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's the most ever. Well, since Ross Perot,
Right. I think I don't remember what he got, but
yeah,
at least the highest
I believe
since
he
then.
pulled
Maybe
pretty
before
hard,
that.
pretty highly as well. But anyways, it's the number of positions plus one. So in a one-position government, it's two parties that are going to be in power. So if we at least did it so that there were two positions, I think that this is how it works. If number one winner gets presidency, number two winner gets vice presidency, then I think it would be three parties would be then, because there's two positions plus one. So I think, does that make sense?
It does. I just don't see how that would work exactly, I guess.
It has something to do with the fact that because somebody always wins, so somebody wins and the people who are in the middle end up running totally in the opposite direction of whoever won. It's people that were kind of like leaning, so it just ends up leading to a divide, and it just always ends up with two parties.
Right. It becomes a binary, and you either choose one or the other.
Yes.
And whoever's winning right now, the losers will tear apart at every little mistake they make, so that when they get a run again, they have all this stuff like, oh, look at all these terrible things they did while they were in charge. And then it's like, yeah, that makes sense, so they vote for them.
Yeah.
Which is why we've gone Democrat, Republican for like the last
we
40
normally go
years.
like 12 years of a Democratic, or 8 years rather, 2 terms of 4 years.
Right.
Forgot
Barack
about
Obama was the first president in history to win the second term for like the third consecutive time, like having 3 presidents in a row go 2 terms. It was the first time that's ever happened.
Having
So, like,
3 different presidents.
Yeah,
winning
3
2
in a
terms
row.
each.
So like we've had 2 presidents go 2 terms in a row,
Clinton,
and then there would be
Bush,
like one
and
one
Obama.
term.
Yeah.
But Clinton, Bush, and then Obama, that was the first time in history it's been 3 presidents
Back
in
to
a row going back to back.
Which is why Donald Trump is probably going to.
And I
have
think
a
he
second
will.
term.
I think he
Probably
really will.
though.
And
Yeah, he probably will.
it's kind of sad
It's
because
kind of sad.
I don't know, maybe things will change over the next few years, but from what we've seen so far, he's just doing a terrible job.
He's a mess.
He is a mess.
He's a waste. Low energy Donald Trump. He's it's so difficult because I always want to be respectful towards the president, and
I mean,
Salute.
he doesn't do everything he doesn't do is bad. He's done some good things,
obviously not everything.
but it's
Like
just
what?
like the overall
Like what has he done that's good?
I don't
It's
know. He's made some good
objectively good.
speeches. He's made some really good
What are you
speeches.
talking about? Like the one at the Boy Scouts?
The ones where he's reading.
Tell me about
Okay.
the one at the Boy Scouts because no,
You didn't
I
hear
saw
this.
that.
I didn't
I
hear it
saw
either.
the headline.
I didn't hear it. I read through a
The
couple
transcript?
articles where they were like pointing out quotes that he said, and I actually did listen to a little bit of the audio. But so he goes to this.
Did he mention that Jeb was a waste or what?
Pretty sure he actually did.
Yeah.
Most of the speech was about Jeb Bush.
Jeb Bush is a waste.
So he's talking to these Boy Scouts. It's the Boy Scout Jamboree. They do it every year. I don't think
Is that
Obama
like every
ever
Boy
went.
Scout in the country? Or?
Yeah, it's a big. Every Boy Scout in the country will go and hang out in DC.
It's a huge thing. What's that, like a million
You know,
Boy Scouts?
go America. I don't know. Probably it's a ton. And so he's going out there and he's speaking in front of all these Boy Scouts, and he just starts talking about the weirdest stuff. Like he's talking about going
Like what,
to some
like
party.
furries and bronies?
No,
or what?
he's talking about I went to some party and it was the coolest people in DC or
like
something.
the night before, or what? Or just one time I went to a party.
I don't know. It might have been a recent one. I
Last
don't know.
night it was
I don't
at a
remember
party.
all the context, but he was just talking about it. And he was talking about like, oh, these are the best looking people in DC or something.
The best.
And it was
The
specifically
best.
about their looks. It wasn't about like who
because
they
that's
were.
because that's as far as Donald Trump goes.
Yeah,
It
So
really
was
is.
weird. And he was talking about other stuff, like he was talking about Sessions and some other guy, and he was like, "Oh, if these people don't do what I need them to do, they're out, they're fired." And he said that. It's like he's talking about people who work for him.
Well, Mussolini
In
could
front
have
of a
said it
group
better
of-
himself.
In front of a group of 11 to 18-year-old boys and probably their families or whatever.
Younger. Well, how old's Boy Scouts? Younger than that, I thought.
No, it starts at 11.
At 11. Were you
Yeah.
a scout?
Yeah,
Were you?
I'm an Eagle Scout.
You're an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
I got second class. We went. Did we go together?
No, I was in a different troop.
You're in a different troop because
Yeah.
I was with
He was Brendan and
Whitman,
yeah.
Mitchell, all the Whitmans, all fucking 4 of them, or what are they? 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. But so yeah, he's talking in front of all these young boys, and he's just talking about the weirdest stuff, and it's like they're all cheering for him because most of them are all conservative.
Well, also, just in general, even if you don't like the guy, it is an honor to like be somewhere where the president is speaking.
Right, and that's another thing he said. He talked about Obama. Obama never actually went to the Jamboree. He did shoot a video. He did shoot a video one year, and they played it at the Jamboree, and he did it for them. But he never actually showed up.
Who gives a fuck? He doesn't have to show
course,
up
Obama. No, but of course,
Obama. The goddamn Boy Scouts.
Of course, Trump goes out there and he's like, bet you guys haven't seen the president in a while. Or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. And everyone's like, whoa! Obama sucks! Yeah, so, I mean,
he's such a fucking
weirdo.
4-year-old.
He's a weirdo.
No, he's not. Okay, everybody that thinks that Trump is like evil or malicious or like racist, he's not.
Like all this
He's a 12-year-old boy. Stuff. No, I think that happened. He's a 12-year-old boy.
But it's not Trump.
That's a 12-year-old boy?
No, never mind. The Russian
collusion with Russia?
That wasn't Trump.
Wasn't it? Did we talk about this last week?
No, I don't think so.
It's a little bit fishy that no one had any meetings with Russia, anyone from Russia at all. We've never even met Russians.
Right.
I didn't even know Russia was a country. How do you Moscow? Is that what is that? Moscow.
We need some more cows.
And they went from that to, well, Donald Trump Jr. did go to a meeting, but he can't remember anything about it.
They talked about adoption.
Donald Trump Jr.
They talked about Russian adoption.
Donald Trump Jr. had been emailing with this gentleman, and it happened like 2 days before he made a speech. So it's really weird that he wouldn't remember that. And then it went to this person was in contact with someone from Russia. This person was in, and then they get fired a few days later. Ooh.
What are you talking about? What's his name?
Where there's smoke, there's fire, man.
What's his name? John something?
Bannon?
No. The guy who got fired at the beginning of his presidency.
Yeah, there was the
National
FBI
Security Advisor.
Well, everybody's getting fucking fired. The FBI director, the NSA advisor, the fucking his Bannon.
Bannon hasn't been fired yet.
I thought Bannon was fired.
No, I don't think so. But what's his face just quit? His press secretary. What's his name? Spicer? Sean Spicer?
Yeah, Sean Spicer.
He just
and
quit.
where's the other one?
I
can't
he's been talking about Sessions a lot. And a lot of people are saying he's planning on firing Sessions, but he doesn't want to fire Sessions. He wants Sessions to quit, so that for some reason that'll make him seem
But he's such
better.
a 4-year-old. He says, "Oh, everyone in the country doesn't love me. It must be your, and your faults," and so he fires them. And it's the most childish thing.
It is ridiculous, especially with Sessions, because Sessions has been like his greatest supporter this whole time.
What the issue is he doesn't have any policy. He doesn't have any good or bad policy. He doesn't have any policy. He hasn't done anything.
He hasn't
done anything.
Got that Neil Gorsuch into the Supreme Court. That's the one thing he's done this whole presidency. And
there you go. But he brags about, I do so much. I only sleep 4 hours a night because I work so hard. I work my fingers to the bone. I slave away all day. And it's like, what have you done? Do you even know his stances on anything?
He doesn't have any. He doesn't really have any.
He doesn't have stances.
Everything is as it comes, he'll just, this sounds good
and then he'll say something,
tweet that
and then a week later, he'll say the opposite.
Not even a week sometimes. Sometimes he'll contradict himself within a few hours.
Within the same sentence he'll when he's not using words like bigly or it's going to be the best. It's going to be the greatest. I have the greatest. The best. The absolute best.
It's the best.
The best.
Ain't no one better.
Not a chance. Nobody better. I mean, it's like a fucking 12-year-old.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's going through something. I think he's getting old. I don't know.
Getting old? It's been 6 fucking months. Either he was old to begin with, or...
No, I think he was always this bad, and people just kind of didn't pay too much attention because they didn't think he would win, for one.
Yeah.
Most of the people didn't think he would win. And the people who did think he would win liked him, so they didn't care about any of that stuff. But now here we are, and
I think
everyone's
that's
like,
gross. I think that it's gross that you would rather have someone who's grossly incompetent who wears a red tie than, I mean, the Hillary Clinton is like a special example, but like.
and that's the problem. She is the special example. She's probably one of the few people he could actually win against in a general election.
Yeah.
And it's just how
I mean,
it
if
turned
Biden
out.
would have run, Biden would be president.
Biden would have beat him.
Absolutely.
Sanders would have beat him. I don't even know who the other people who would have run in the Democratic Party. Everyone just assumed Hillary would win. Like, Sanders
there was
surprised
the
the hell
guy
out of
from
him.
Texas. There was the guy from.
I watched a Democratic debate in the primaries, and the other person talking, I had no idea who he was, and I still don't.
Now I can't recall.
He barely
their
talked the whole
names.
time. So
Can't recall their names off the top of my head because they don't matter because they lost.
no, none of them matter. No, they really don't. To be honest, Hillary doesn't matter anymore because she
It's
lost.
weird. I know all of the Republicans who ran. There's Ben Carson, Marco Rubio.
I think that was
low energy.
I
Jeb
think
Bush.
with the Democratic Party, everyone assumed it would be Hillary, and then Sanders came along and kind of threw everything at all
Everyone else
crazy.
was.
But
what
the
was his
Republican Party, no one really knew who would go away with it.
It was
kind of
Martin,
up in the air.
What was his name? Martin. I actually liked him.
Marco Rubio?
No, for the Democrats. His name
Oh.
was Martin.
I don't know.
I think it was Martin. I can't recall his name now. But and I liked him.
Yeah.
They were just both like middle of the road Democrats. I believe it was a senator from Texas, and I think he was from Illinois, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, unless your last name is Clinton or you go around talking about free college for everyone, you don't matter.
We should have free. Everyone should have free college. Everyone should have.
I think
free
college
healthcare.
is a trap anyway.
Okay, well, and the rest of us in the real world would beg to disagree with you.
The current college system is crap. You can't even disagree with that.
I wouldn't say it's crap. I don't think it's optimal. But here's the thing. We pay so much in taxes. The problem isn't socialized medicine. The problem isn't socialized healthcare. The problem isn't fucking socialized housing. The problem is that we take so much in taxes, and we as Americans get nothing back for it. We don't get anything. Whereas in other countries, they pay less in taxes than us, and they get health care. They get free college. In Russia, it's a 25% flat tax rate. They get free college. They get free health care. In the European Union, most of those countries have, it's not as low as 25%, but it's like 30-something%, and they're getting college and health care. We pay this money in. What the fuck do we get as a country? We get almost nothing
We
for our
get
tax
the
dollars.
biggest damn military this world has
Exactly.
ever seen,
Well, yeah, there's that.
and then some.
But look at, drive around, the roads are fucking falling apart around here, man. Where the fuck do our tax dollars go?
Yeah.
Where do our tax dollars go?
Trump always talked about building the infrastructure. That was a lot of his, that was
That
a big
is
point in his
something-
campaign.
That is something that I liked about him was
That was
he
a
said,
big point in his campaign.
and that's what I think he should focus on rather than reviving dead fucking coal jobs. He should be focusing on the infrastructure and rebuilding that industry.
Have they passed any legislature about that? I thought they,
About the coal or the,
no, the infrastructure. Didn't they create a budget around the infrastructure?
I
Or
would
no?
doubt it,
I don't remember exactly. I
Doubt
think they
it.
might have.
but he might have.
I don't know, but I feel like no, I don't feel like he's done anything really for that.
No. Why would he? Why would he?
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
You can't tweet about it and make headline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a popularity contest for him. It's not about issues. It's not about making America great again. It's about making Donald Trump rich again. It's the only thing that he cares about.
But back to the tax thing, I would be okay with a flat tax,
I would be okay with
even if
paying,
it was as high as 25%.
I would be okay with. Sorry, I don't know what that was. I would be okay with paying more taxes if we actually got something
Right.
out of it.
Right. And I don't know. The problem with
We
me
need to
is
manage our system better.
I don't know. I guess the problem with me is I just don't trust the government to do anything right because they've never given me a reason to.
Well, because they're so bloated and corrupt, and that's part of the problem.
So it's like, yeah,
Sure.
the government needs more money, but it's like, Well, what have you been doing with the money we give
Well,
you
I think
now?
our taxes could stay the same, but the government needs to do the correct things with it, with the money that's given to it. Sure.
Yeah, and building
I agree with
more.
that. But I think the
building
answer
more
isn't,
fighter jets is probably.
But the answer
not what
isn't
we need.
necessarily to give the government less money, because then they're just gonna mismanage less of our money, and it's the exact same problem.
But then we have more money to spend.
And you know what gets cut? You know what gets cut?
Social Security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Social Security, public programs, like welfare,
school, education.
Exactly.
Education cut.
No one ever cuts military budget. They'll cut police budgets. They'll cut all this stuff, but they never cut the military budget. Why is that?
Because if you cut the military budget, you won't get reelected as a Republican. That is 100% the reason.
But can't we agree that our military is too damn large and it can be cut?
No, because we
have
got
the biggest military in the world.
ISIS. Ooh.
Yeah,
and Russia.
But conventional arms don't
And
matter against either of those
Turkey.
fights. Conventional arms don't matter against ISIS at all.
North Korea. We got all the bad guys out there. What if they try to fight us? Are we ready? We have too many transgenders in our military. Whoa.
I guess in a weird way that is kind of cutting the military expenditures.
No, I think someone was like posting numbers, and it's like, it's ridiculously low. It's
No,
there's so few of them, and then there's so few who actually go into the military. It's like,
well, then I also feel like there's no MTF, male to female. If they were born a biological male and they want to become a woman,
going into the military.
I feel like it's all I feel like
it's
it's
all female to male.
I guess that's not true because there's the one who's really big who was talking a lot about. There's Bradley and Chelsea Manning. Chelsea.
Yeah, I've seen
Manning
people coming out and talking about wearing their shirts and stuff.
Well, I thought that why wouldn't they just say that no one currently in transition can serve in the military, who's actively taking drugs to transition them. That way, if you were born a woman and now you're a man, that's fine, because for all intents and purposes, you're a man. That's fine. You're not transgender, you're now a man, right?
Do you ever stop taking hormone therapy?
I don't, maybe not. Maybe you have to take it forever unless you get
I thought
castrated
you did.
or your uterus removed.
I think even then you do. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you still have to.
Because you still produce it.
Because just because you take out the testicles doesn't mean you're going to produce estrogen at the same level.
That's true. You're right.
You're just going to be not producing testosterone as much. So,
it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I think you don't. I don't think you ever stop. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you have to at least take some amount of hormones.
We should have someone transgendered on.
Do you have any transgender friends?
Yes, we both know someone actually who's transgendered. Yes, we do.
Well, we won't say the name. Right
No,
now,
I'm not gonna say their name.
You'll have to tell me because I can't.
I actually know a couple transgender women now. I know a couple of transgender.
Well, if I know them and I can't think that they're transgender right now, maybe they just.
I don't know if they'd be the best people to maybe come on and talk, because I don't think that they're actually politically involved.
Are they like Caitlyn Jenner, such a traditionalist?
Caitlyn Jenner. Didn't we talk about Caitlyn Jenner last week?
A little bit.
Is she still anti-gay marriage?
I'm sure she is. If she was back then, when she made that interview and she said that.
Well, but so is she sexually attracted to men or women? Or is she just so old that it kind of just all stops?
I don't know, man.
Just kind of
I don't care. It's none of my business.
No, I don't care either, but it is an interesting thing to think about. It's just interesting that as soon as she transitions, then she comes out, oh, by the way, I'm against gay marriage. Like,
yeah, that was
now that you're a woman, now that it doesn't apply to you. But she was married to Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
We talked about this fucking last week. The he, she, just whatever.
I don't know.
But in the past, when he was like an Olympic gold medalist, and they have kids, right?
Yeah.
They have.
I think. Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner. I don't know. I fucked
her
her
son.
Kardashian.
It's her daughter. Yeah.
I think I think that the Kardashians are the reason that Donald Trump won the presidency, and I'm not being sarcastic about that. I'm not being sarcastic about that.
All right, let's hear this.
The Kardashians are a symptom of a larger problem. This society of celebrity worship for worshiping celebrities who don't actually do anything, but who go up and who talk a big game and say, I'm the best, I'm the biggest, I'm the greatest, and they slap their name on substandard products, or like below average products, and then people buy them because, oh, they have a TV show, I can be just like them, and I can get all this plastic surgery, and I can get my skin turned orange, and yada, yada, yada. That's why when Donald Trump, and he was a reality TV star, he's someone who slaps his name onto anything, and it suddenly becomes worth something. It doesn't really, but he argues that it does. He gets, I don't know if he's had plastic surgery, but he's fucking orange. So you get
He definitely gets a spray tan. I don't think anyone.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's
terrible.
It's not a good one. Yeah.
It's not. I have a good one going on, but
Yeah, man.
where do you get your spray? The spray tan store. Can't endorse anyone on this. It's not for profit.
Shout out to our sponsors, Obama and Hillary.
Oh yeah, no,
The Round Earth Society.
the global design. I got into an argument with my friend last night because he was hanging out at work with someone who was telling him that the Earth is flat, and I had to fucking lay out the science, and please don't make me do it because I'm too tired right now. But I had to explain to him the science of the fact that the Earth is a globe, and it's rotating around the sun, and it spins while it's rotating. I had to explain this to. He's a 20-year-old gentleman.
You believe all that crap? Jeez.
That,
Oh, I guess there's satellites flying around in the sky shooting lasers at us. This guy. What, we went to the moon? Now you're going to tell me we were walking on the moon?
yeah, global Zionist elite. It's turning the frogs gay.
Excuse me.
That's all we need is the frogs being gay. We don't have enough problems. You should be worried
Right.
about the frogs turning gay.
We need to take care of our frogs.
Frogs.
They're the real heroes.
But yeah, it's just that culture of celebrity worship where they don't really do anything. They're
famous for being famous.
They're famous for being famous, exactly. And Donald
And-
Trump is famous for being famous, and he's been
He
famous
is.
for being famous for forever.
I mean, he's also famous. I guess, he's pretty much famous just for being famous. He was rich before he was famous.
Kind of,
But-
allegedly. Not really.
Well, his dad gave him a small loan of $1 million, $2 million,
Yeah,
something.
but that's not rich.
$200 million.
It's not rich. I mean, I don't know.
He was a, he
You're rich compared to me. I'd go for a small loan.
he was
of
a
$2 million.
real estate mogul, and
But he wasn't. He was a joke to all real estate. All real estate developers back in like the 80s, that it was like the 80s and the 90s that he was big. He was a joke. He wasn't in the top 10 like big movers and shakers in the real estate world. He was a used car salesman.
yeah.
He was a used.
No,
car
he was
salesman.
a.
And then he
talker.
goes, hey, look, I got a billboard. Look how great I am. And he thinks that fools people, and it did fool people. It fooled enough people, but I'm not impressed. I don't know. I think that when people actually like look into these things, they'll realize that they shouldn't be impressed. That there's nothing impressive about him. Just because he's not impressive doesn't make him a racist, sexist,
Right.
homophobic.
There are a lot of things wrong with Trump, but you got to be realistic
Racist,
with your
sexist,
criticisms.
Anti-gay. Donald Trump. KKK.
Something like that.
That's what it is. Racist, sexist, and it's actually catchy.
No, I get you.
It is kinda
Yeah,
catchy.
I've heard that one.
It is catchy.
It rhymes, so.
It does rhyme.
So there you go.
Yeah, it does rhyme.
It must be true. If it rhymes, it's true.
Yeah,
That's what I
it
always
must
say.
be true. Yeah.